Hi, my name is Michaela, and I have decided to start a YouTube channel and TikTok and Instagram devoted to books and my love of reading. I primarily, the past several years, have been reading historical romance, and I've just hit a bit of a reading slump, so I've decided to branch out and try a bunch of different things, just trying to get myself back in the habit of reading. So this is going to be quite a big book haul about, lots of books and things that I've bought in the last 2-ish months, and I'll have more in the future. Again, just trying out several different genres so that I can get back into reading. I did want to show two things first. So I got these off of Amazon, and they are just used to help you hold books open if you're reading one-handed. For instance, I've got Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park right here, and I've already broken the spine on this because I've already read this, but if I wanted to read one-handed, then there you go. Also, I'm hoping that with, the shorter but thicker books like this, they just tend to be bound more tightly. So I'm really hoping that it will help me spread the pages open more easily so I can read it more easily. The next thing that I got, not a book, but book accessory, is this reading light. It is a Batinge, I don't know, can you read that? That's the brand. I got it off of Amazon. It's one that goes like around your neck, and it works pretty well, if you see how bright that is. And that's just one. Here's the second one. So, and then it's got like 3 different light levels. It's pretty cool, and I'm excited to use it. So, on to books. I guess I'll start with these two. These were the first ones that I bought, going so far back as I am in the haul, from Barnes & Noble, and they're much so outside of my preferred genre, which is historical romance. This one is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I've already read this one, and it was very, very good. I'll do an entire review just on this book. I've read several of these books already, and I'll do reviews on each one of those. So I suppose I'll just read the blurbs on the back. I've not read all of these books, so I'm not entirely sure what all of them are about. This one essentially is, I've heard somebody else describe it as like if Hogwarts was trying to kill you, but I think it's much more complex than that. The world building is really interesting, because it's set only in this one school, and there are monsters who are attracted to magic, essentially, and so these magical kids in the mortal human realm get killed off really fast. So centuries before the book takes place, several adults decided to create this school with only one way in and one way out, and that makes it more difficult for the monsters to get in and kill the kids. But it's just very interesting. You know, the different kids have different specialties in magic. The main girl, essentially, her specialty is in dark magic, but she's not like a dark witch. That's not what she wants to do, or what she wants to be, or the person she wants to be. It's a really good book. I recommend it. The next book is The Pariah by Anthony Ryan. I have not read this one yet. When I was buying it, the lady who rung me up said that she had read this book and she really liked it, but it is a little slow for like the first 100 to 200 pages. And so I've read maybe the first 100-ish pages, maybe a little less than that. And it is pretty slow, but it's well written. So on the back it says, born into the troubled kingdom of Alramain, Alwyn Scribe is raised as an outlaw. Quick of wit and deft with a blade, Alwyn is content with the freedom of the woods and the comradeship of his fellow thieves, but an act of betrayal sets him on a new path, one of blood and vengeance, which eventually leads him to a soldier's life in the king's army. Fighting under the command of Lady Evadine Corlin, it's a really hard name, Evadine? Maybe it's Evadine Corlin, a noble woman beset by visions of a demonic apocalypse. Alwyn must survive war and the deadly intrigues of the nobility if he hopes to claim his vengeance. So, and by the time I stopped, I hadn't even gotten to why he wanted vengeance yet, so be forewarned. I also bought this book. So this is, like I said, Michael Crichton's, or Crichton, I'm going to say Crichton, Jurassic Park. I love the movie, so I was like, absolutely, I have to read the book. It is also slow going. Yeah, the first 150-ish perhaps pages, maybe just 100. It's slow going as well. It's also very detailed and scientific and technical. So you just kind of have to parse through all of that before you get to the real thriller action. On the back it says, an astonishing technique for recovering and cloning dinosaur DNA has been discovered. Now humankind's most thrilling fantasies have come true. Creatures extinct for eons roam Jurassic Park with their awesome presence and profound mystery, and all the world can visit them for a price, until something goes wrong. In Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton taps all his mesmerizing talent and scientific brilliance to create his most electrifying techno-thriller. So, it's a very good book. It's, you know, a little slow going at first, however. Okay. I also have this book. I have not read this yet. This is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw. My mom got this for me. Yeah, seemingly this is supposed to be after The Nightmare Before Christmas, when her and Jack get married, and now she's the queen of the queen of Halloween Town. But she's just not happy living that kind of status-filled lifestyle, just like Jack wasn't in the movie, and eventually discovers a new realm called Dreamtown. It says, she unknowingly sets in motion a chain of sinister events that will put her future as Pumpkin Queen and the future of Halloween Town itself in jeopardy. Can Sally discover what it means to be true to herself and save the town she's learned to call home, or will her future turn into her worst, well, nightmare? So, I'm excited to read that for Halloween, but as of right now, I have yet to read it. Okay. the next few. I also got Dark Things I Adore by Katie Lattery. I'm pretty excited. I keep going, I apologize. I'm pretty excited about this one. It seems almost like potentially a murder mystery, but something that takes place 30 years later. So the back says, 3 Whispered Secrets, 1988. A group of outcasts gather at a small prestigious arts camp nestled in the Maine woods. They're the painters, bright, hopeful, teeming with potential. But secrets and dark ambitions rise like smoke from a campfire, and the truths they tell will come back to haunt them in ways more deadly than they dreamed. 2 Witnesses. 2018. Esteemed art professor Max Durant arrives at his protege's remote home to view her graduate thesis collection. He knows Audra is beautiful and brilliant. He knows being invited into her private world is a rare gift. But he doesn't know that Audra has engineered every aspect of their weekend together, every detail, every conversation. Audra has woven the perfect web. One dead in the trees. Only Audra knows what happened that summer in 1988, Max's secret, and the dark things that followed. And even though it won't be easy, Audra knows someone must pay. And the woman, 30 years later, bent on bringing the guilty to their knees. In a propulsive tale of trauma, complicity, and revenge, Dark Things I Adore unravels the realities behind campfire legends, the horrors that happen in the dark, the girls who become cautionary tales, and the guilty who go unpunished. Until now. So, I've not yet read it yet, but I am excited to read it. The next 2 books are books I have already read. So I have My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I've heard a lot of really good things about this. I have already read it, and it was good. It wasn't... Perhaps I thought that based on the reviews it would have been different. I'll do an entire review on this one because it's a very interesting book and I'd like to talk about it more, essentially. So what happens in this book is you have 2 best friends, and one of them one night during skinny dipping, it's like a group of 4 friends actually are skinny dipping, but one of them gets lost in the woods. And the next morning when they finally find her, after that things just aren't right with her. And they have to essentially figure out what's wrong with her and how best to fix it. But really only one girl, the Gretchen, is the one who gets lost, and Abby is her best friend. And Abby's the only one who actually cares about what's going wrong with Gretchen. So, it was a good book. It was definitely different from what I was expecting, though. The other book that I've read is Near the Bone by Christina Henry, and I've actually finished this one today, and it was excellent. It was amazing. It was great. It was a great book. It really was. It was a great book. So, I just keep repeating that, but it was really good. There are, a couple of things that might be a bit spoilery, so I'll just read from the back. A woman trapped on a mountain attempts to survive more than one kind of monster in a dread-inducing horror novel from the national best-selling author Christina Henry. Maddie can't remember a time before she and William lived alone on a mountain together. She must never make him upset. But when Maddie discovers the mutilated body of a fox in the woods, she realizes that they're not alone after all. There's something in the woods that wasn't there before. Something that makes strange cries in the night. Something with sharp teeth and claws. When 3 strangers appear on the mountaintop looking for the creature in the woods, Maddie knows their presence will anger William. Terrible things happen when William is angry. It was really good. I also got A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. So, pretty excited to read this as well. I have not read this yet. So, it says, deep in the heart of Oxford's Bodleian library, Diana Bishop, a young scholar and the descendant of witches, unearths an enchanted alchemical manuscript. Wanting nothing to do with sorcery, she banishes the book to the stacks, but her discovery has set a fantastical underworld stirring, and soon a horde of demons, witches, and other creatures descends upon the library. Among them is the enigmatic Matthew Claremont, a vampire with a keen interest in the book. Equal parts history and magic, romance and suspense, The Discovery of Witches is a mesmerizing and addictive tale of passion and obsession that reveals the closely guarded secrets of an enchanted world. So I picked that up from Barnes & Noble, and then I found book 2, Shadow of Night, in the used bookstore. So I picked that up as well, even though I've not read the first one. I'm not going to read the back of it because I don't want it to spoil anything from book 2. Okay, I also picked up from the used bookstore H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds. Here's an issue. Do you see this? This is not a sticker. Do you see that? That's not a sticker. Infuriating. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to read this as well. Just based off of the cover, I'm assuming it's going to be completely different from the movie. So it says, the horror starts on a quiet summer night with a falling star, and then hundreds. Ships filled with repulsive, super-intelligent monsters and war machines, deadly beyond even the dreams of military science. The invaders don't want to trade or talk or enlighten. They only want to trample humanity beneath them and take our world for their own, and we can't stop them. Some call it the War of the Worlds, but it's not a war, it's a mass murder. So, yeah, excited about that one. These other 2 books, the next 2, are also used. My mom got me these. So this is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, and In a Dark, Dark Wood, also by Ruth Ware. They're supposed to be, I assume, kind of thriller, scary horror books. However, neither one of them gives a summary or a blurb on the back. They're just all, like, quotes and recommendations from people who have read it. And then sometimes if they do that, they'll put like a blurb in the front, on one of the front pages, but it's just more quotes from people who've read it about how much they love it. So, yeah, that's frustrating, but I'm excited to read these books for spooky season. Let's see. The next 2 books I also got from Barnes & Noble. So, I got Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maroon. I've heard good things about this. I've heard other people on Book talk about it, and how much they liked it, and on YouTube and everything. I was a little hesitant. I don't necessarily know that I like enemies to lovers. So, we'll find out. On the back it says, bound as one to love, honor, or burn. A witch and a witch hunter thrust into holy matrimony. There was only one way such a story could end. A stake and a match. Which is certainly a very intriguing premise. Sounds a little scary though. Stake and a match. That just sounds like the witch hunter is trying to kill you, but alright. Okay, my camera cut off as I was getting to this book, so I'll just go through it again. So this is the Zodiac Academy. It's the first one, The Awakening. However, it is As Told by the Boys, and I didn't realize that there's more than one version of book 1 when I picked the book up. This is by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. So, obviously, if I want to read this series, I'll get the actual original book 1 as opposed to the As Told by the Boys, because you know, it would spoil things in the original book. The back says, the Vega twins are alive. Those 5 words circle in my mind like an oncoming storm. They change everything about the future we thought had been set in stone. They challenge everything we were raised to be and the stability of the entire kingdom. They're coming to our academy looking for the life that was stolen from them. But we can't let them take it back. So much hangs in the balance, and we can't risk the arrival of 2 naive princesses destroying everything we worked so hard for. I have trained in dark magic, overcome all challenges, and stood in the shadow of Lionel, a crux, for far too long already. I won't let them come between me and his downfall, which means they have to go before they discover how powerful they truly are. So, I've heard mixed reviews about the Zodiac Academy, so we'll find out. We'll find out. That's really all I got. All I got is, we'll find out. You know? I don't know. Branching out. That's what this is all about. Then I got a couple of more, like, thriller, horror novels. I got 2 books by Nick Cutter. I got The Deep and The Troop. I've heard other people talk about these 2 books on Book Talk, so I decided to pick them up. The Troop says, once a year, Scoutmaster Tim Briggs leads a troop of boys into the Canadian wilderness for a weekend camping trip, a tradition as comforting and reliable as a good ghost story around a roaring bonfire. But when an unexpected intruder stumbles upon their campsite, shockingly thin, disturbingly pale, and voraciously hungry, Tim and the boys are exposed to something far more frightening than any tale of terror. The human carrier of a bioengineered nightmare. A horror that spreads faster than fear. A harrowing struggle for survival with no escape from the elements, the infected, or one another. And The Deep says, a strange plague called the Gits is decimating humanity on a global scale. It causes people to forget small things at first, like where they left their keys, then the not so small things, like how to drive or the letters of the alphabet. Their bodies forget how to function involuntarily. There is no cure. But far below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, a universal healer hailed as ambrosia has been discovered. In order to study this phenomenon, a special research lab has been built 8 miles under the sea's surface. When the station goes incommunicado, a brave few descend through the lightless fathoms in hopes of unraveling the mysteries lurking at those crushing depths, and perhaps to encounter an evil blacker than anyone could possibly imagine. Dun, dun, dun. So, I picked up those 2 books. And then, also, another scary ocean book is From Below by Darcy Coates. I've also seen people kind of talk about this one. They liked it. So, no light, no air, no escape. Hundreds of feet beneath the ocean's surface, a graveyard waits. Years ago, during a routine voyage, the SS Arcadia vanished without a trace. Though a strange, garbled emergency message was broadcast, neither the ship nor any of its crew could be found. 60 years later, its wreck has finally been discovered more than 300 miles from its intended course, a silent graveyard deep beneath the ocean's surface, eagerly waiting for the first sign of life. Cove and her dive team have been granted permission to explore the Arcadia's rusting hull. Their purpose is straightforward: examine the wreck, film everything, and if possible, uncover how and why the supposedly unsinkable ship vanished. But the Arcadia has not yet had its fill of death, and something dark and hungry watches from below. With limited oxygen and the ship slowly closing in around them, Cove and her team will have to fight their way free of the unspeakable horror now desperate to claim them. Because once they're trapped beneath the ocean's waves, there's no going back. So, the ocean is a scary place. I'm excited to read those. Scary, scary. The next 2 books that I got, I think are supposed to be more, like, feel-good, funny. So, I got Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. My mom and I watched the TV show, like, last week or so. 2 weeks ago, maybe. And I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. So I just had to pick up the book to actually, you know, see if it was similar to the TV show. According to the Nice and Accurate Prophecies of Agnes Nutter, which, the world's only completely accurate book of prophecies written in 1655, before she exploded, the world will end on a Saturday. Next Saturday, in fact, just before dinner. So the armies of good and evil are amassing. Atlantis is rising, frogs are falling, tempers are flaring. Everything appears to be going according to divine plan, except a somewhat fussy angel and a fast-living demon, both of whom have lived amongst Earth's mortals since the beginning, and have grown rather fond of the lifestyle, are not actually looking forward to the coming rapture, and someone seems to have misplaced the Antichrist. So, it's hilarious. The TV show. Recommend it. I've not read the book yet. Then I was at Barnes & Noble, and I saw this book, and I thought it was cute. It's got a cute cover. It's called The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. A magical island, a dangerous task, a burning secret. Linus Baker is a by-the-book caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records for company, but his quiet life is about to change. Linus is summoned by extremely upper management and given a curious and highly classified assignment. Travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, that they're likely to bring about the end of days. When Linus arrives at that strangest of islands, he's greeted by a series of mysterious figures, the greatest mystery of which is Arthur Parnassus, the master of the orphanage. As Linus and Arthur grow closer, Linus discovers the master would do anything to keep the children safe, even if it means the world has to burn. Or worse, his secret comes to light. The House in the Cerulean Sea is an enchanting love story masterfully told about the profound experience of discovering an unlikely family in an unexpected place and realizing that family is yours. Now, I've heard other people talk about Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune, but I've not heard people talk about this one. And already I thought, that's great. This sounds awesome. How cute. But then, even though I hate this, I hate that. That's annoying. But the only time I've ever read one of the quotes from in the book, quite possibly the greatest feel-good story ever to involve the Antichrist by Shelf Awareness, and I was like, that is hilarious. Must buy. Okay. So, those are all of the books, that I have for this haul. However, I do have an obscene amount of manga to show you. On to that. I didn't have any manga up until 2 months ago. This is not going to be in order of when I got them. I didn't get them all at one time. But, like I said, a ridiculous amount. So I'll start with this one. I got Marvel's Deadpool Samurai by Sanshiro Kasama and Hikaru Usugi. I really apologize if I've messed up people's names. So this is just volume 1 of that. I think right now there's only 2 volumes out, and I've just not picked up the second one. I've not read any of this manga yet. But everything else that I got, I have seen at least a couple episodes of the anime for and really enjoyed. And that's the reason why I decided to pick up the manga. I guess I'll go to this one next. So, let's fall down. Okay. I got the first 8 volumes of Haikyuu. This is the volleyball, high school volleyball manga. So, it's really cute. I've seen quite a bit of the first season when it was on Netflix, but then Netflix took it off. removed it, and so I've not been able to watch it since because it's not on anything else. I have volumes 1 through 8 of Demon Slayer. I have seen the entire first season of this anime, and it's fabulous. It's great. Also, this is Haikyuu, story and art by Haruchi Furidate. I really don't know. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I watch dubbed anime, not subbed, so I know I'm so bad. This Demon Slayer is story and art by Koyoharu Gotuke? Koyoharu Gotuke? I don't know. I apologize greatly. But here's the art. It's beautiful art. And I've seen as far as the first movie where they were on the train with Rengoku. I believe is his name. It's been a minute since I watched the anime. So, this guy. Which I believe I've gotten all of the anime up until, all of the manga up until where I've watched in the anime itself. So, that's cool. Next is volumes 0 through 8 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, I've only actually seen a few, like 3 maybe or so episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. But it's on HBO. I think it's on HBO. And I don't have HBO. So, I watched the first couple of episodes with my sister. So, yeah. And I've not seen the movie that is based off of volume 0 of the manga, so. And this is story and art by Geek Akatami? Geek Akatami? I don't know. I'm butchering people's names, and I'm so sorry. My name gets butchered too. Not that bad though. Not that bad. I'm just really bad at pronouncing names. Japanese names. At least. Anyway, yeah. I'm pretty excited. I obviously have more manga than what I've seen in the anime. So, pretty excited about that. The next anime, manga. The next manga I will show you. I've also seen the entire first season, I believe, of this anime. But of the manga, I have volumes 1 through 6 of Fairy Tail. So here are what the covers look like. Fairy Tail was super cute. It is really great. These all seem to be by the same person, Hiro Mashima. Anyway. Okay. Now, following that, I have to bend down to get up. I apologize. I've only seen the first few episodes of this anime as well, but it was too cute, and I really enjoyed it. So, when I saw it at the Barnes & Noble, because all of this manga is either from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, I decided to pick it up. So, it is volumes 1 through 7 of Fire Force, and this is from the creator of Soul Eater. I love Soul Eater. I was wondering, I was like, this is very similar art. Atsushi? Okubo? Atsushi Okubo? Perhaps? Anyway, I would love to get Soul Eater manga as well, but I am super excited to have this. Like I said, I've only watched the first couple of episodes, but it was just really good. So when I was there and I decided I was buying manga, I was like, alright, I'll just buy this manga. Alright, now, the next one is what's going to be the most preparing to hold up. Okay, volumes 1 through 15 of My Hero Academia by Koei Horikoshi. I believe. So, I have watched, again, I believe, the entire first season of the anime, and I really enjoyed it. And, like I said before, I'm just trying to get out of reading slump. I thought maybe manga, or graphic novels would be a good way to do that. I didn't really see, at my Barnes & Noble, a lot of graphic novels that appealed to me. I could have bought Heartstopper, but it wasn't like in the graphic novel manga section, so. Anyway, here are, and these are in order, the covers. I mean, the artwork is incredible, and I already know that I like the storyline, you know, so, yeah, that is it for the book haul. However, in a week or two, I'm expecting a package from, of like 30-something books, and I will make another video for that. Super excited about it. It's got more horror thriller, more fantasy, a lot more fantasy, things like that, a bit of romance. I'm excited. I'm excited. So, I will see you guys then, and have a great day.